And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just look me up, don't be scared.
Yeah, so yesterday was a pretty huge day for crypto.
Yes, it was.
Are we sharing this AMA with the on our Twitter account by chance?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can put it up there if you want me to.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we should do these. I mean, should we have them in the Discord or should we do them on the Twitter?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll just kind of see what we could do that as a community poll and see what the community prefers.
'Cause I feel like random people could enter it if it's on Twitter.
Yeah, let's plan. Maybe next week we'll do a Twitter Spaces instead of on Discord.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, so pretty big week. Trump won, thank God. And that's great for crypto, obviously. Because if we can remember what he said at I think it was the BTC conference in Nashville. I believe he said that he's going to fire Gary Gensler, which is like a huge plus. And then he's going to create some crypto task force, which is great. And they're going to come up with the regulations within 100 days. That was the plan.
And he's also, talked about making BTC, made in America. So just getting rid of the regulations and all that stuff just to make mining in the United States more user friendly, I guess it would be.
Yeah, which I think it already is user friendly, but I mean, I guess like if you lower the cost of electricity, it would be more friendly.
Yeah, and that's true. And that's one of the things he talked about was cutting utility costs that have gone ridiculously high.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that'll be good. Yeah, so Solana just pumped like $30 in a day, which is pretty great. It's a great sign. Polis pumped like 4 cents. Another great sign.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of surprised. I know I was. I was surprised that they called the election so soon. I expected it to be dragged on for, if not a few days, weeks. But it's so yeah, I was actually surprised that they called it, last night. I mean, like I said, I really expected it to be dragged out for at least a few days.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of creepy actually. It was kind of creepy how like there weren't like the problems.
You, Steven?
No, I'm still here. You hear me?
So we may have lost Steven there on that.
Damn.
So we're just gonna open up right now. I mean, does anybody have any questions going on? Any questions about what we got going on, or anything you want to about the mint going on, or something like that, or what's coming up?
Hmm. Hmm.
So we got the free mint with a mission right now, and we're doing the device mint with the whitelist. And so we've been securing some airdrops from different communities, different projects. That's exciting. Right now, we have about $50,000 in airdrops coming to device holders, which is pretty significant. So, so we are going to be airdropping. We don't know when yet. We're waiting on the other projects and when their token actually drops. But we're also working on securing some other airdrops for our community and for device holders. And so,
Chris, can you
we're planning on trying to get some that happen before December. So trying to get some that drop during this month. But right now we have token drops secured from Ember Phoenix DAO with the Ember token. We have companions and their comp token. And we just, this week, we just finalized with Panda and their bamboo token. So that's pretty cool. You back, Steven?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, he can hear you.
Yeah, so we have a question in the chat about the airdrops. And yeah, if you have two devices, I mean, I think the airdrops, they're going to go out equally, right? To each device, or no?
Yeah,
In
that's
proportion
correct.
to each device. Yeah. So you'll get double the airdrop if you have two.
Yep. So
But
right now, you know, just with our estimated $50,000 in drops, it's about $400 for each device.
right, which is crazy. And I mean, just absolutely insane number. Even if just say we're being optimistic here. So it's like we anticipate it to be about $50,000, right? Like we don't know for sure like what the value of these tokens are yet, because some of them haven't been released.
Yep.
Correct,
And
Chris?
yeah, that's correct. The $50,000 that I'm going by on an estimates is what they're anticipating the token's value is going to be at launch. So that's just at launch. And you know, when a project has attention and they launch a token, the launch price is not the price. It pumps pretty quickly if they're doing their marketing right and stuff. So I expect this is just their launch value. So that's what we're basing the number off of, because we don't have any other thing to base it on right now. So we're just basing off what the launch value is going to be.
Yeah. So full disclosure, we don't know what is actually going to come to the Purigachi holders, because the tokens don't trade yet. But the exciting thing is that we have lined up like 3 confirmed airdrops. Am I correct in saying that?
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So we have 3 confirmed airdrops going to Purigachi, to the device holders, and that is that's pretty. I mean, that's a pretty awesome. That means that we're working. That means that Chris is working. That we're doing our job. We're already creating value, even though we don't. We're getting these things airdrops, and we never even promised that, right? So I think it's just just one of the many and surprising benefits of being in the Purigachi community.
Yeah, I mean, this just kind of it kind of came together by itself, just with because we're gaining some attention and we're gaining some traction and stuff, and it's like projects are now reaching out to us and asking how they can collaborate and just telling us about their project. And so we're just it's we're still working hard. We're still trying to make connections and stuff, but we have other communities that are just reaching out to us just because
Mm-hmm.
they see that we're building something that's going to last. They see that we're in it for the long run and we're not just a flash in the pan, you know, 24-hour token project.
And like, what are we offering? Like, what have we offered these communities that are giving us these airdrops? The Pirigati community. Like, what's our value to them? Like, is it, are we going to be creating crafting kits for them? Are we going to be?
Well, that's the thing. We're not really offering them anything. We're just offering them, connection to a project that's here to last, that's here to stay. A project that they know, being a Star Atlas project, we already have credibility. So, and we're not just taking drops from any, and building partnerships with any project. Um, we have to protect our community as well. We don't want to just open it up to anybody who's launching a token. Come, because we don't want a bunch of rug projects being attached to us because we're here for the long term, and we want our collaborations and our partnerships to be with communities that are long term as well.
And I think like in the future though, when our game is launched and we have the ability to offer utility for these tokens, I think that airdrops will become a more common occurrence for Yurigati holders and device holders
Yeah,
because
I think so too.
yeah, because like once we have like the ability to create actual like utility for the other projects and their tokens, they're gonna want to airdrop to us. Like, I mean, sure, like I think requesting airdrops and getting them sent to us is kind of lucky, you know, especially since like we're not really offering anything in return. But the way our strategy is that we're going to be offering a lot in return in terms of utility, and that should be a natural marketing, or that should be like a natural attractor to future airdrops and to new projects.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you on that. I think just because of the things that we're doing with the crafting kits and the Irigati Collaboration Fund, I think that we'll be able to attract even more people just because we'll have utility for them. We'll be circulating just through the mechanics of the game and rewards. We'll actually be circulating their token. Um, so it's a win-win for us, and it's also really benefits other communities as well. And that's why I think it's important that we attach ourselves to projects that are building to last and projects that have a good foundation. Um, just because
Yeah.
I don't think that we should be attached to projects that are just that don't have a plan, that are just out there winging it, that are just trying to make a buck. I don't know,
Well,
how do you feel about that?
I mean, if they're giving us if they're just giving us airdrops, then they're definitely not trying to make a buck.
Right?
That's not a great strategy for making money.
Yeah.
But but like it's so my thought about it is, hey, if we're investing into their projects, due diligence is of like the utmost necessity, right? Obviously, like if we're going to be investing in their mints and their potentially their token ourselves, with the fees that we collect, then we're going to need to do a thorough investigation of the project and its feasibility. if they're just giving us tokens for being, just for being us, then, then we will accept your tokens. I
Yeah,
don't see
we don't have any problem passing them on.
Yeah, for sure. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
and
other.
see, and for me, that's the difference between like a seeking a partnership where we actually want to create a relationship and actually build, their token into our game and buy their mints and you know keep them as investments for Irigati holders, and but that would be more of a partnership relationship. And then we have people who just want to give our community tokens. That's to me, that's just like a collaboration.
It's just fun. It's just
Yeah,
fun. It's just fun
yeah.
marketing, and it's like they're obviously, people believe that airdrops are a good form of marketing, and we see it like we see it all the time, and um, yeah. So it's just commonly held belief. Um, so and maybe there's definitely like I've been sent tokens that I look up and be like, hey, this is interesting. Um, so it is sort of a form of marketing. Um, and I think like much more so than NFT. Like when I get sent an NFT, I'm like, all right, what the fuck's this? Like it's like,
Don't click on it.
yeah, well, don't go to the link, right? Like whatever, whatever. If I get sent an NFT, I'm like, this is I can't. What am I gonna do with this? But if I get sent, a token that has a price, I'm like, oh, all right. Then I'm inclined to look it up. I'm inclined to do some to at least look it up, right? So
Right.
it is good. I think maybe tokens are more effective marketing spend than NFTs are.
See, let's touch that let's touch that a bit. So it's like for me, if I'm sending a random token and I have no idea what it is, I might see it in my wallet and I might go look at it. But if somebody announces to me and says, "Hey, I'm going to send you this token," then that to me is more effective than just the random drop.
Oh,
Because
true.
then I'm expecting it. Then I'm waiting for it, and I'm actually watching the price. I get invested in it. And I think that's kind of one of the things that we offer, as a project is we'll announce, this collaboration that we're going to be dropping your token. And then people go and it's like, okay, well, it's coming. It's like the Duke
Hmm.
drops, it's like everybody knew the Duke drop was coming. They knew how much they were going to get and they were just waiting for it. And, it's like, when they got it, it's like, everybody was excited and just the hype that was built just around the announcement of it and the expectation, and everybody was checking their wallets and their secondary wallets and their burner wallets. And, it's I think that's one of the things that we're building unique with the device is that if you have this device, you're going to be getting drops.
Yeah, and that's just an unexpected benefit, right? And the device was free.
Yeah, yeah. It's turn your free into $400. That's pretty cool.
It's unbelievable. It's
So I
unbelievable.
wanted, yeah, it is. And like we're in talks with other projects. Nothing's finalized with other projects, but we are in talks with other projects to bring more. So
Hmm.
I'm surprised, that people aren't lining up, for the device, and so it's but that also keeps it kind of exclusive, and so it's kind of fun to watch what's going on.
Well, I think that we set the precedent with the devices, right? And then the airdrops happen. We have them lined up. We tell it is natural marketing for us, right? The work that we're doing just to to create utility for something that, you know, didn't have any
Yeah.
out of thin air, and we're just doing it out of, sweat equity here. And I think it's just good. It's great marketing for us, and it's only going to be amplified. Like for the Purigachis themselves, this is a sign of things to come, right? It's like, okay, it's like the devices, they get these airdrops. Well, obviously, that's going to be transferred to Purigachi, right? Like when they come online, the Purigachi are going to be the airdrop recipients, you know. Um, I mean, or Chris, like, what do you think about that?
I think
Like, we're
it's
so
going to
we're
be I think it's going to
yeah,
be a combination of both. You know,
okay. But
right
we're
now,
setting precedent, right? Like we're setting a
yeah,
precedent for the Purigachi NFTs,
exactly.
which actually costs money, right? Which actually
Right.
help fund the project and the team
Yep.
operations and the rewards and things like this. So
Yep.
we're setting precedent, and I think it's just a cool precedent to send. But we have to get the word out. We have to, and I think the word is just going to be like, when people receive these token drops, and no other project is really. I mean, there are other projects that try to get airdrops for their NFTs. But ours is a very, we're very low key. So I think the value of the devices is going to pump once people figure out, what's going on here.
Oh, I completely agree. I think that especially right now, the rarity is built in, but it's not. We haven't assigned it anything yet. So the airdrops right now, if you have an uncommon, or if you have a common, or all the way up to legendary, because anomaly hasn't dropped yet. But any of the devices you have, you're going to get the same. You're going to get the same airdrop. So it'll be fun once we start actually implementing the rarity mechanic. Then I think the value of them is going to pump. I think the value is going to go crazy when that happens. So
Well,
that's going to be fun too.
right, and that rarity is different though, right? Like that rarity is attached to like in-game mechanics too, right? Or
Yeah.
it's
So
attached
I
to
mean,
something. Yeah, it's more than just
yep.
the air. I mean, I like the idea of each device getting airdrops like equally, and then the rarity condition, setting the stage for, you know, some utility that comes from the game or some other earnings mechanic. But I think like for now, like in terms of like marketing for Purigachi, the fact that it's like we can say that everybody got $500, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it is. Yep. So yeah, it's like one of the woodbugs said something about just having a common, but at this point in time, it doesn't matter because everybody's going to get the same drop. So, so yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about that first drop going out, and and just I think because once we actually make that first drop, I think it's just going to gain us more attention, and we're just going to get more projects lining up to just be part of what we're doing.
Right. Right. And yeah. Yeah. I mean, and these are just this is just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah,
Like this
yeah,
wasn't
because
even a white paper, right? This is not even part of our long-term plan, right? This is
no, this
just
was this was this was just something that we just decided to do, just kind of just to give back to the community and say, here's the Irrigati device. This this entitles you to what we have going on in the ecosystem, and we're not going to charge for it. So yeah, it's been fun, and it's been cool to just see it kind of develop as something that we hadn't even thought of, that just kind of just happened. So
Yeah, and so with the price of with the expected airdrops being around what you say $500, so that should set the floor price for the device NFTs, right?
yeah, yeah, and as we mint more um, devices,
Yeah,
that number is going to come down, but we're also gaining more
airdrop.
airdrops.
Yeah,
So I think that as we pick up more projects that want to airdrop to our community, even as we're minting more devices, I think that the value of them is not going to drop. And then there's gonna come a point to where there's no more devices. Everything's gonna be on the open market. So
right. And the devices themselves they're going to be, I mean, they're going to have other utility, right?
yep,
But I would expect so. Like, given the information that we've provided, the few people on this call, I would expect each device to have to reflect the value of the airdrops, expected airdrops that are coming to them. And right now, we think about $500. So, um, so
yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
do the math
if
on that
somebody
one.
wanted, yeah, if somebody wanted to buy mine, I'm not selling it for less than 500, because I mean that's the built-in value right now, and we're just getting started.
Then like two and a half. So
Yep. So yeah, so the devices are just like I said, like a membership pass. That just gives our community access to what we have going on and what we're building for the community and what we're giving back to the community. Um, and then later on, we'll be minting the actual characters that'll be for the game. So that's kind of that's what we're going to be doing in Mint. No Mintver. So we're planning on just getting all these things lined up. We don't have dates yet set for character mint. Um, but Steven, there are some old alpha NFTs out there that we used for alpha testing and stuff like that. Um, did we talk about the burn to mint?
no, we haven't yet. But so we're going to be burning the um the old Tegu NFTs, correct?
Yep, and even the cosmically attuned, which was just a collector's item for our tech demo testers. We're gonna burn those as well.
Right, right. And so what is a burn to mint? Can you explain that for everybody?
Yeah, so this is something that's uh, one of the reasons we've switched to core standard for MetaPix core from the old NFT standard is because it allows us to do so much more with the NFTs. Um, we can build plugins to do all kinds of different things. Metaplex has actually built a lot of plugins, and one of them is the burn to mint. And so, what the burn to mint is it lets you assign any NFT that if a user logs in and has that NFT in their wallet, they can actually burn that NFT and then get one of the new mints. So that's what we're going to set up. We're going to set it up so that anybody who has a cosmically attuned or has one of the alpha Igu NFTs, they'll be able to burn to mint or one of the new character NFTs. So it's basically we're trading them out, and not only is it updated to the new standard, the artwork's updated. It's going to have the rarity mechanics built into it. So yeah, we're excited about that. So it's something that you don't see a lot about, just because it's still fairly new. But I'm excited to actually watch it and see it going.
Right. And if someone and say like somebody doesn't do it, they don't convert. So that just means the supply of pure gotchis is permanently lower, or what does that mean?
So if they don't actually burn to mint their NFT, then eventually the mint for the new character NFTs is going to close, and if they haven't burned, then they just don't get one of the new mints. And the way the game is going to work, it's only going to be using the core standard, so it's only going to be using the new NFTs. The old NFTs the only value is going to be for the burn to mint. So yeah, and we had a question about what the price is. All of our prices start at 0.426. That's the number we always have to start with for all eternity, just because it's built into Star Atlas lore. So that right there should set the floor value of the alpha NFTs that are out there, because they're going to be able to be burned for the new character NFTs, which are going to start at 0.426.
Yeah, correct. And actually they should be even higher, right?
And I
Because
think we
of
lost Steven again.
oh,
But that kind of wraps up like what we wanted to talk about tonight. With the election going on and what happened, we're all expecting a decent bull run to start. We know that Trump has a lot of things in store for crypto, and he's all about crypto. We know that he's got. Yep, we got you back.
thank Christ. Okay.
Yeah. So the last thing I was saying, Stephen, was that with the burn to mint and the mint for characters starting at 0.426 Sol, that should actually set the floor price on the current alpha NFTs that are actually out there, because their
Right.
value is only burning for the new mint.
Well, actually, okay, so it actually should be 0.426 plus the value of these airdrops. Because if we think about it, like, you know, like what was the amount of time that it took us to get 3 airdrops lined up?
Um,
It,
I would say that the 3 airdrops. I would say this. I mean, this is all happened within the last, I don't know, couple months, I guess. Breakpoint kind of accelerated it. Our first
okay.
partnership with Super Phoenix DAO, that happened, a few months back, but that was our first partnership. But then when Breakpoint happened and we started getting attention, so in the last month, we've secured 2 airdrops, and we're in talks with, I can't say how many, but we're in talks with other projects.
Okay.
And so
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I think
what
it's just accelerating.
yeah, so one question I have, and this is because we have a few people on the call, so I figure like we can talk more openly, a little bit more freely. And I was thinking like, what if we, you know, take some of this, airdrops or whatever, and we put it in our treasury for the rewards fund, and then we just permanently lock in a higher value for the Purigachi NFTs. So like, if what I say by this is like, what if instead of like distributing it 100% as airdrops, why don't we convert some of it to USDC, put it into the rewards fund as principal, and earn interest on that? And the value of the rewards fund is what determines ultimately the floor price of each Purigachi NFC. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, even that, I think that would be an excellent idea. And maybe we do like, because I think airdrops are fun and they're exciting, right?
Yeah.
And I think like the growth of like principal is less fun, less exciting, but it's like it's more valuable, right? Because it's like the value of each Purgachi is going up every airdrop, right?
Yeah.
And it's like locked in value. So what if we did some ratio where we locked in, we withheld 20% of the airdrops, put it into our, to put it towards increasing the principal driving the reward stability fund, and then distributed the other 80%.
I mean,
Something.
like we talked about, this whole thing is just kind of developing on its own.
Yeah,
We have
truly
people coming to us, and so it's not something we planned on doing. It's just something that's kind of just
happening.
kind of building itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I
and
mean,
why it's
so there's no rules. I mean, there's really
right.
no rules. We just were like, hey, these projects want to drop tokens. Let's just give them to our holders. Let's just give them to the device holders. Yeah,
And
I mean, there's no rules.
right, and you know why they're coming to us like that, right? It's because we're selling ourselves and we're selling our community as a group of investors.
Yeah.
So they're willing to give us something in order for further investment in their project, right?
Yep.
We're selling ourselves as like a VC, a crypto venture capital community. And I think that firms or companies or token projects or whatever would be, I think they have that in mind when they come to us. Like when we sell them that message that hey, like we invest in the space as a community, right? I think that we increase our chances of getting more, of the benefits of that, what they of their marketing spend, because ultimately they're viewing it as marketing, to a group of individuals who are interested in investing in Web3, right?
Yeah, and
And
a project that's interested in the same.
right, exactly. And if we continue, I think this is a good message for us and like our community, right? Is to sell ourselves as Web3 investors, right? If we sell ourselves as what we are, right, and then we will be more likely to receive these airdrops, which are considered by the companies who are actually sending us these tokens as marketing spend. So we're more likely to receive their marketing spend, which they were going to do anyway, right? They probably had some
Yeah.
allocation for it anyway, and we're just more likely to be on the receiving end of it, based on our marketing as investors.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I think it would be a smart move for us as we're gaining these collaborations and these token airdrops for our community, that we kind of highlight that in our social media and in our marketing approach, that you know that we are uh, a community that invests in other projects, and uh, that our community loves, you know, exploring new projects. So yeah, we can definitely take what's happening and definitely capitalize on it, not just for us, but for the other projects that are building in Solana.
Absolutely. And I'm like, for these three airdrops that we're receiving, I'm going to be looking into these projects now, right? Like, because they've decided to come to us, like we're not going to leave them hanging, right? We're
Yeah,
gonna we're gonna look into what they have to offer. We're going to look at their communities. We're gonna look at their products. We're gonna look at like, hey, if we really like these guys, and maybe their airdrops maybe they represent a like an entrance fee to our community, right? maybe that represents like, okay, you do the airdrop, then, like, then we will look into your project and decide like, hey, do we make an investment, right?
Yep.
And it doesn't. They don't have to give us $50,000, but like, but it is a good, like, it is like, hey, yeah, you give us something, and then you're on our radar. Then we look into you. Then we create utility. Like if we like you, we create utility for your tokens, your NFTs, and we, if we really like you, then we can go even further, right? We have different stages of collaboration that are explicitly, built into our, the game that we can go, and our investment process that we can go, depending on how much we like the project, right?
No,
So
I love it.
yeah, but
it's
it
like
does. Yeah, they're on our radar now. Like otherwise, I would have never heard of these guys, right?
yeah. No, it's like the Puri collaboration pyramid.
Yeah, we got to make a meme
It's
for
like
that. Someone make a meme for that.
yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely. I think we should definitely just keep look like just kind of work out some details and just get some stuff going, and then we can have the MBK start putting the word out, and yeah, we could definitely build on what's happening for sure.
Right, right. And then let's just. I kind of want to just close out with an update on the game and that development. And I see Neo Fox is in the audience here. You like where are we on this? Where are we on development? What's it looking like? What's our timeline? I know it's been a week since our last AMA. We asked about it last week, but what's the update?
So I don't know if he wants to come up and talk or not. He can raise his hand if he wants to, but I can give an update too if he doesn't want to. But so we are right now. I think we're on track to release the game this year. I mean, we keep talking about we want it done by the end of the year, and we're definitely on track to do that. We're finally, I'm finally getting all the artwork done for the NFTs themselves. That was a big process because we wanted them to be unique and we wanted them to stand out. But I also wanted them to be, animated, and we did that with the rarity on the devices. So we're going to kind of take that same approach with the NFTs and rarity. So Neo's been building like crazy, and we've I was just talking with him today, and we've he's pretty much got all the rewards distribution for the leaderboard. That's all sorted. So we're just taking it step by step and just making sure things are done, and um, I guess I can go ahead and release this too, just because we're just kind of doing some alpha stuff right now. We'll be doing community testing. This won't be any rewards, but it'll be just like testing that just kind of helps to hash out some of the things and see if there's unknown problems that pop up. So device holders are going to be the ones who are going to be invited to be doing the testing. So just more and more things that we're just giving value to device holders.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with, there's a project called Volania. Okay. And they're kind of a new Web3 game. And it's like World of Warcraft style game, right? and it's a really great project. Um, and what they released, like their very first release, was called the Volanium Ring, and they sold these for $300 a piece. They, I think they sold about like 200 of them or something like that. And these Volanium, like they've been giving these things utility since their initial mint last December. Okay, they have been giving them like they've launched their game. They've launched like a staking game. Like people who have the ring get boosts in the game to find the gems. They're doing a token sale. People who have the ring can buy they can actually participate in their token pre-sale, and at a discount. And there aren't many ring holders, right? It's actually very similar to what the Purigachi device holders are right now, right? Maybe 103, we have like 90 holders or something. They have like 103, right? It's right in the same range. And, I love the idea of like for your first mint, giving exclusive utilities and just building upon that like through time, right? Like just like never forgetting about it, never excluding it, just like always thinking about, how can we give these things or give these holders, utility like forever, into time. Like how can we just constantly be rewarding them?
Yeah, I love
And
that
so
idea.
yeah,
I think we lost Steven again.
yeah, it's oh yeah.
We didn't hear that last thing that you said, Steven. I think you
Oh,
lost the connection there.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the idea is like, this is an idea that we want to shape. I love the idea of just, for the very first items in a community, our community is small, right? But we're going to grow. And I think like for the people who are here at the beginning, to have a device continues to grow over time, that continues to have rewards come to it over time. It just makes sense. It just shapes the zeitgeist of the community, right? And I think the pure gotcha NFTs are going to be no different. Like those are going to be our first paid mint. Those are going to fund the project. Um, those things are going to be extremely valuable, and we will work tirelessly. Like we're going to mint them for 0.426, but that's not going to be their price. I mean, we're going to be adding much more than that in utility through our collaborations. So yeah, I would just for the people here, get excited, get pumped, share the project, or don't share, hoard the project, do whatever. Um, but I'm really excited. It's a very genuine endeavor that we're pursuing, and I know like a lot of people say that obviously about their projects. They say we're different. And maybe we're not that different from other projects, but I think it's what you do. Like if you say you're going to do something and then you do it, and then whatever you do it well, and you just sort of follow that ethos, and then good things will happen.
Yeah.
So again, I've been on a bunch of these like Twitter Spaces recently, and everyone is just like, yeah, we're sustainable and we're doing great and blah blah, and it's like, yes, great, and I love to hear it, right? And I love that people are learning from the mistakes of the past, and we have that. It's like our message. So our message is not unique, right? Our message is like our project is part of the zeitgeist of this new wave of projects. That's just focused on stability and focused on rewarding people that you know it's focused on preserving the value of what people put into the project, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and that's exciting because I believe that to be like it's a good value to have. You know, it's like one of our principal values. One of our principal values is that like what you put into the project, we want you to get back out of the project.
Yeah,
You know, and
at minimum.
at minimum, right? And that's a core value that we have and that we explicitly, we laid out when creating the tokenomics is like we want you to get out what you put in. And that's what NFT gaming should be about, right? Like NFT gaming, the whole point was that you could craft something and be able to sell it to somebody, and or like you could buy something and then sell it to somebody else when you're done playing the game, right? And you
Yep.
could do it through the power of the blockchain. That's like the whole point of Web3 gaming. Like, this transfer of assets and ownership. But one of the problems is when you buy something and sell something, the price could be dramatically different based on the state of like the crypto market or whatever. Like there is no guarantee that like what you paid for that thing is what you're going to get out of that thing when you give it to someone else. And we sought to create a game that preserves the value of the Pirigachis. When you buy a Pirigachi, we hope that you get the value out of it when you sell it, right? We will hope that when you paid 0.426 Sol for it, we hope that you receive at least 0.426 Sol when you sell it, right? And that's not like a wishy-washy thing. We explicitly included the reward stability fund in order for people to regain that value when they exit. So yeah, that's just my spiel. I don't know. Next week, Twitter?
Yeah, next week we'll try it on Twitter and see how it goes. And thanks for coming, guys. And yeah, I'll try to get this one out, the recording out, a lot sooner than I got the last one out, so everybody can listen in, because I think we covered a lot of cool stuff tonight.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the election and other things. And also, so where could they find the recording? So if someone here was to want to share this with others, where would they find it?
So I put the other one up today when I announced our meeting for tonight, and it's going to be on YouTube.
Okay, very good. Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for co-hosting with me, Steven.
Yeah.
Imco will be back next week. He had something that come up that he couldn't make it tonight, but he'll be back next week. So we'll see what next week's topic comes about.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Forward to it. Chris.
All right. Stay safe, everybody.
All right. Bye now.